Hi, welcome to an episode of Psych Specifics. With us today is Professor Zinn. Thank you for joining me.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Perfect. My first question is in Psych 101, the students learn about the different perspectives or subfields within psychology, such as cognitive, social, clinical, and so on. Which of these perspectives best describes your training or research area?
While I've always been a little bit of an odd duck, my degree is in industrial and organizational psychology, um, which sometimes is considered one of those sub disciplines, and sometimes it's considered like an application of other sub disciplines. So it's industrial and organizational psychology, but my training also focused extensively on behavior analysis and experimental psychology.
Perfect, thank you. What specifically do you research and what drew you to that? And can you give an example of an interesting finding from one of your published studies?
Well, I'm a bit of a chameleon, but I suppose the thread of my research from when I was an undergrad until now is a focus on teaching and training, specifically in higher education, but not just. I One of the areas that I'm researching now, though, focuses on work-life dynamics, work-life balance, policies that support families and working families. So that's a more like traditionally IO perspective. But teaching and development has kind of been a theme throughout. One research project that I did not too long ago was developing a measure of student entitlement. So
Mm.
the idea of student entitlement or students as views of as in the view of students as customers. So we had some interesting data about that in terms of how we can predict students that would, for example, participate in assessment day or students that would just not do it, or students that would make special requests from professors, specifically female professors. They're more likely to ask for special favors from female professors. So that was one of the things that we looked at. Yeah, I know. I
That's
know.
interesting.
Yeah.
As you know, psychology is an incredibly interdisciplinary field. How do other disciplines outside of psychology integrate the findings or theories from your subfield into their own research or practice? And can you give an interesting example?
Well, I mean, my field is the interdisciplinary field, right?
Right.
Industrial and organizational psychology, we're talking about motivational theories, leadership theories, social dynamics, how groups work, principles of learning. We're talking about all of those things. So my discipline is pulling from all of these other disciplines to apply those issues to a specific organization or business related concept. So it certainly is an interdisciplinary field, but I feel like I absorb the different disciplines a little more than other disciplines apply stuff that we do as IO psychologists. But, we certainly meet with or involved with business professors or people that are in business. Our work in IO psychology is applied to political science, public relations, communications, and different fields like that. And certainly public policy with the work-life dynamic stuff that we work on. Um, so I kind of sometimes feel like I'm pulling, sometimes pushing. So
Gotcha, thank you. Psych 101 fulfills the JMU sociocultural area requirement for general education, meaning students are expected to understand people who might be different from them and the importance of multicultural perspectives. How do you think about the role of culture, different social identities, or multicultural perspectives in the context of your research or your subfield?
well, So if we think about IO psychology as psychology applied to organizations, a big aspect of working in organizations and groups is working with people who are necessarily from different backgrounds from you, different people, different races, different ethnicities, different cultures. And there's a lot in IO psychology about how we best work together, how we can best work together, how we can eliminate our unconscious biases, our usually, but not always, inadvertent discrimination against people from different groups or cultures. Uh, so a whole area of industrial and organizational psychology is focused on diverse perspectives, how we make better decisions when we have diverse groups that we're making those decisions with. So that's one, important aspect. With the work-life dynamic research, our a lot of our research is pulled from other countries because the United States has poor policies related to work-life dynamics. Surprise. So we are often pulling from research from other countries. How do they do this in Finland? How are they doing this in other Scandinavian countries? So how does this manage across Europe? How do they do this? So we're looking at those other cultures and how they've integrated these different types of work life policies, work life dynamic issues, and how we could apply it to the United businesses in the United States or organizations within the United States.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Okay, final question. What advice would you give yourself back when you were a Psych 101 student?
Go to class. Uh, um, I I didn't go to every class. I was not a psych major when I took Psych 101. I
Oh,
was a bio major, and I had very little interest or knowledge of psychology. So I did not see it as important as it ended up being, and it is. What's wonderful about psychology is it doesn't matter what your major is, what you're learning is stuff that you can apply to your own life and your own situation and your own future. So it's it's really relevant to every student that's in there, even those students who think that it's not.
yeah. I agree. Awesome. Thank you so much for your time today. Any word of advice or encouragement that you want to leave us with?
For the intro students,
Yes.
yeah, just be involved. If something tickles your fancy and you're interested in a certain topic, there is somebody out there that would love to talk to you about that topic, get you involved in a project or research. There's lots of opportunities there. Just takes a little bit of proactivity.
Mhm. Perfect. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Allie.